Alright, so I was asked to do a little base tour quick, and I suppose I'll do one. My base is basically just this on the map here. It's not too much in it here. But anyways, we got this main section with the big old house up here. George Quank's cottage. Got my dogs. As well as one of the decks on this house, overlooking this forest. As well as this forest to the left, which is all just planted trees. I'm going to put snow on top of those eventually, because it doesn't snow on the server. Let's go up first. Just a bedroom there. And then the main deck here. You see a lot of good stuff here. Got our flags, all 4 of them. My duck. A little tavern, I call this. A power plant. My old railroad, which goes a few thousand blocks, and I'll head on that at the end. And then my hockey rink. Over on this side, we got the other part of my railroad, which isn't done, as well as a redstone contraption I was working on, but I'm not done with that either. So let's head downstairs. This is the storage area. Now, when I first put this in here, it was pretty laggy, but I think my computer's gotten used to it. It's just chests full with all sorts of goodies. The old guest room. And I'll go out in this other kind of walkway area. More of the same there. So downstairs, more storage. I always have so much storage. Spruce storage, plenty of ovens, and on top too, I suppose. This is the old clay storage. And then some exit out there. Gotta have a portal. And we can go to the mines. So this is where I got all the cobblestone for making that railroad, and some other projects, of course, I've worked on. Got a wheat farm here, which says 2,064 a layer, so 4128 in total. 2 layers of that. I don't know why I put a minecart there, I never use it, but of course the tree farm, sugarcane farm. And I'll probably expand this tree farm all the way up to the top, so that I always have trees ready to go. Alright, so let's head outside and take a right. So this is the tavern, as well as a little apartment area. This is actually unfinished. I should have put up the walls by now, but I get sidetracked pretty easily. Another just underground area. Another duck head. And yeah, this part's unfinished as well. Go up into the attic. I'll take a look at George up there in a second. All of my streets that I've laid out so far are named after Minnesota cities. So here we are at Big Duck Hill. You can read these fun signs. And let's go on top of George there. And George does have an internal. Here's another nice view. Alright, so we're back down from George. We'll take a look at that power plant. So here it is. This one's actually 100% complete. But the idea is the water gets pumped up here, goes into this big old boiler, and this fire comes up here, goes through here, some sort of joint, and steam comes out. You can read the signs. You can go take a look out on the deck too. So here's the rink. This is also under construction, although I'm currently working on it. Which is just a hockey arena. Which will play hockey eventually. Or the best emulated version of it. Here's that downstairs, and that actually goes to the tree farm. This is where you'll buy your equipment for playing the games. Next up, I want to show what the map looks like. So, you saw in game this part here. So we kind of have the duck and the house and whatnot, which is right about here, and the arena would be right here, but this is shaped as Minnesota, and there's no other buildings around here besides the rail going that way, and a little hut up in the very top area. So here's that top area. Pretty funny, actually. It's just this tiny little hut. Next up is my railroad. So this has a bunch of stops too, and ends up at a town called Polandtown. Take a little ride on this. So here's the first sort of switch, I guess you'd call it. And this simply just goes to an old house that someone had built, actually before I even got here. And marked out my territory and whatnot. If you look over that way, there's someone had built a little cabin type deal that they decided to stop playing, or maybe they got banned, I don't know. Anyways, this is our first stop. I'm really only going to check out this stop because I've made them look pretty much the same. But anyways, call this Rooster Mountain. Always put a storage area and then a little canopy to come out to. So this is where the railroad starts going sideways. If you notice, it goes faster when you're going sideways, which is pretty cool. There's another stop, it's just on this big old island. Here we come up to Wendelin Mountain, and I won't show that stop like I said. Excuse me, that was Silney Mountain. I think this one's Wendelin Mountain. So this whole rail I did build, all by hand. Took a very long time, but certainly a fun little thing to get on here and ride every once in a while. And yes, I'll eventually expand it too, once I get to the end. There's a boat someone made. I don't know who made that, but it's there. And a windmill. And we get to Enderpo Station, which actually does stop eventually. And that heads to Poland Town on the server. And the last station goes this way, towards Enderpoe Mountain. So Enderpoe built that last station. Well, he didn't build it, but he wanted a station there, so I put one there. And I just gave him the credit for it. And this is kind of the end of the line, so... Looks like someone left a little gift for me. Cool. So that's kind of my connected builds. I do have a lot of other stuff. Here's one of my builds. There's that big old duck there. You can go up on top of him. Now, someone had a great idea of shooting the guy with a death ray. From the Death Star, of course. And blowing a big old chunk out of his wing, so... Looks pretty cool, I think. Of course, this guy also has internals, just like the other ones. If we take a look just on my little homes here, we can count how many ducks I've made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Looks like 18 recorded ones, but I've made a few more that I didn't put homes to. But yeah, anyways, that's the kind of tour of what I've built so far.